There are many lessons to be drawn from recent crises, whether they are related to food, energy, or migration. Risk management strategies need to be revised to make Europe more resilient and united in challenging times. And one way would be to turn open strategic autonomy from concept to reality. Open strategic autonomy ensures the capacity to act independently if necessary, while collaborating with partners whenever possible. On one hand, we have smart supply chain management trying to optimize benefits by concentrating on the economic aspects. On the other hand, we have strategic autonomy that brings geopolitics into the equation to minimize risks by reducing external dependencies. Open strategic autonomy tries to combine both approaches by taking all factors into account to figure out a compromise between benefits and risks. The qualifier open implies a continued engagement with third parties that should be beneficial to all parts concerned, both on the short and long terms. We must keep an eye on the future without risking a loss of capacity that we may miss later. We are going through a wide range of crises, and we know many more are still to come. Uncertainty is the new normal, so we must better predict to be better prepared. Within the past few years, the EU has suffered many undesired long-term effects from crises, like the soaring prices of cereals, energy and fertilizers following Russia's war of aggression in Ukraine. This might be an extreme situation, but there are other cases where no aggression was intended, like the microchip shortage for the automotive industry in the EU that was due to an increase in the demand from other sectors, like video games. Asian microchip producers are not the enemy in any way and could not be blamed, but the effect was very harmful to EU companies nevertheless because they were too dependent on them. So there is no reason for setting up any protectionist measures. But we have to explore ways to avoid similar situations to repeat in the future, and that must be done in a free and unimpeded way. With open strategic autonomy, the question is not to identify strategical areas in which we want to be fully autonomous, but rather to find, for every sector, the optimal compromise between economic prosperity and risks. Industrial policy measures such as reshoring the production of semiconductors and medical equipment are expensive and only work when focusing on a few key sectors and bottlenecks. For this reason, the European Union has specified that it seeks open strategic autonomy and not self-sufficiency for its own sake. And it has already taken some important steps in this direction, like with the REPowerEU package, the Recovery Plan for Europe, and instruments like the Next Generation EU. System thinking and foresight can be instrumental in helping policymakers to reinforce EU's ability to anticipate disruption and normalize situations that would otherwise generate stress. The Commission and the Council are committed to keep exploring ways for the EU to best prepare for future crises, and the participation of the European Parliament brings the citizens' perspective to the debate.